All right, so we're going to work on setting up your domain. So this sometimes, depending on your provider, can actually take some time. So even when you set it up, it could take 24 to 48 hours. But I'm going to give you the basics on how to actually set up your domain. So if you remember, I showed you where account settings is in your ClickFunnels account. You're going to go ahead and then click domains right here on the left-hand side. And then from there, you're just going to click add domain. And then it's going to say register a new domain or add your own domain. Now, what this basically is asking you is, do you want to register and create a new domain, or do you want to add one? So for the purpose of the student that I'm working with, she already has a domain. So I'm going to click use an existing domain. But if you have not purchased your domain, sometimes I find it's actually easier to buy it right in here. The downside of it, it's you're going to need to use ClickFunnels to then control your domain or transfer it later. So that's the pros and cons of it. The pros and cons of adding your own domain and buying it elsewhere is you have better control over it. But the downside is that it could take a few days for it to actually propagate and come in. So right now I'm going to show you how to add your own domain. Registering a new domain is easy, and it's pretty self-explanatory. So you're going to click that. You're going to put the domain in. Okay. Now, if you buy on Cloudflare, it's a pretty easy integration. So that's something to think about. All right, so you'll see right here, they're going to say they want you to basically set your Cname record to point at target.clickfunnels.com. What the heck does that mean, right? So for example, this domain is in Yahoo Small Business. So no matter where you're hosting your domain, it doesn't matter, it's going to be the same, right? So you'll see that there's a bunch of different options here. So what we want to do is we want to go find the name record. So you'll see here the control panel. So wherever you're hosting your domain, you want to go and find the control panel. So you'll see here there's A and Cname records, text records, MX records. So basically what this is telling you is where are they pointing your domain, what server. Your text records, it gives additional information. So sometimes it allows you to verify on certain servers. This isn't really important on some of it. Your MX record is where your mail service is going to be pointing. So you can see we use Zoho. If you actually looked at the lesson, I showed you how to create free email addresses through Zoho. So you can see the MX records are pointing to Zoho because that's where the mail is, right? So we're going to go ahead and you'll see here, there's actually no www at all, right? And so this is telling us that we need to point the www at target.clickfunnels.com. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to add a new record. The source is going to be www and the destination is going to be target.clickfunnels.com. So we're going to go ahead and click add. Okay. So the other thing that you're going to want to change is this here, which means all, right? So you're going to want to edit that and you're going to want to point the destination there as well. Okay, so now both of these are targeting target.clickfunnels.com. So I'm going to go. You notice that your regular domain name without the www is not working. Like if I go to www, you'll notice it goes to ClickFunnels again. This is because I haven't set it to go to an actual funnel. But if you notice without the www, it's not, now mine's going to work. But you notice how right now it's going to Yahoo. That's because you have to forward the domain. So if you actually go into your domain forward panel, you can actually go ahead and you can actually forward this to the www. So that's just one step that you might have to take. Go out on a limb and say that it's not propagated yet, and it's not, right? It's still, you'll see it's pointed at Yahoo because it takes time to do so. So once you've done, you can say, I've done this, great. So it says, good job, it's connected and ready to use, perfect. So now it's going to say associate it with a funnel. Well, we haven't created a funnel yet, so we're going to have to go back and do that later. So you could just say, click here to show your domain. You'll see it says on verified. And the reason why it's on verified is because it hasn't propagated yet. So what that basically means is it's still pointing to the Yahoo servers, and it could take anywhere from 2 hours to 48 hours. So you have to be a little patient. But what you could do is keep checking back. You go back to domains, you click it, and then there's a little verify button up here. You can click that. And then it'll start to go through. You'll see it says success. It's currently being processed. So what that basically means is it is working. They see that it's changing its gears. It just hasn't done it yet. So you just have to be a little patient with it. So at this point, there's really nothing else for you to do, but come back and see if in a day or two if it has gone through. So that's how you set up your domain. So as you can see now, once your domain is authenticated and it's all working, you'll see this whole section will show up, and now everything is forwarding. And now when we go to tinymarie.com, it goes to, well, right now it goes to Clickfunnels because we haven't set that up yet. So if it goes to Clickfunnels or it logs you into this dashboard, don't be afraid. It's because you actually have to set the domain to go to a funnel. Right now, there are no funnels. So that's why. So as long as you can go to your domain and it's going to the right place, then you're all set and it's ready to go. So this is the first step in setting up your ClickFunnels. So we'll talk in the next one when we're setting up your mail SMTP. Thanks, everyone.